Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. A bit of an odd one today. I'm not 100% sure what this game is all about. Only reason I'm playing it really is because it's leaving the Xbox Game Pass for PC soon. So I thought we'd check it out before it goes. So it's supposed to be quite funny, and set in ye olden times. So as far as I'm aware, that's all I know. So let's crack on. See what awaits us here. If I can hopefully use a controller.
Long ago in England in 1592, there begins our tale, and all of it is true. Through all of London, bubonic plague did spread, covering folk in weeping sores and leaving thousands dead.
Okay, mouse and keyboard. Drag left to turn page. Oh, hello.
From towns and cities, doctors they did flee, leaving their patients to die in misery.
But one brave doctor stayed when all the cowards fled, might not have been because he was too sick to leave his bed.
Alas, 'tis my final hour. I will surely die. I am too far gone to recover, and for the plague there is no cure. Unless a cure might be found in the stars.
Choose one zodiac to diagnose the condition. How might I be cured of the plague? So I guess that one. Should foreman use this reading? I have the plague, characterised by a loss of appetite, immoderate thirst, and pus-filled swellings behind the ears, in the armpits and in the groin. Very nice. These are symptoms of a fever provoked by excess sanguinity in the liver. Jupiter domicile in Sagittarius. This indicates a severe imbalance of the blood humour. Yeah, okay. You chose Sagittarius.
Let me see now. According to the stars, the way to cure the plague is to treat the fever it provokes. Oh, can it be true? Might a disease so monstrous as the plague be cured by treating it as if it were an exceeding bad fever? Then I must use powerful herbs to bring the fever to crisis and break it. Let me see now. Angelica and dandelion for heat, borage to provoke sweating, infuse them in wine, strain and distill the mixture to produce a most powerful strong water. Huzzah! I am cured! I shall now go forth with my miraculous strong water to cure all London of the plague.
Okay. Case summary. Each current will return for another consultation.
Foreman made a plague cure and used it on himself, then left his house to restore London's true health.
Huzzah! 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 Huzzah!
Simon Foreman cured us of the plague, 'tis true.
Some details are a little vague, but we know he used astrology and knows his own strong water. So what if he be not a proper licensed doctor?
Okay.
Here comes a lady queer and a little warily. Her name is Lady Scarlet, what can her trouble be?
God give you good day, madam. How may I?
Are you Mr. Foreman? Mr. Simon Foreman, the doctor?
Aye, madam, I am indeed Dr. Simon Foreman. I bid you welcome to my consulting chambers. Mistress...
Allen, Mistress Avis Allen of Lambeth.
Pray tell me your age, if you please, madam.
I am 33 years of age.
And how might I do you service this day, Mistress Allen? Pray describe your troubles to me.
Well, the pain started full late last eve upon retiring to bed. Oh, not that I am in the habit of retiring so late, but my husband did desire a special supper of cold meats to celebrate and give thanks in any case, it started in the night and it continued until dawning. That being the pain in my head and the chundering.
A moment whilst I make note of this. Headache and involuntary purging. Is that all?
Aye, that is all. And thinking on it, my complaint to seem most trifling. And you are doubtless busy with important cases. Oh, like the plague! Yea, verily, mayhap I should not have come after all. Good day, Dr. Foreman. I beseech you pardon me, for I have wasted your time.
Prithee, do not go, for I assure you, madam, your case verily is important to me. And 'tis important to you, is it not, Mistress Allen? Else you would not have come this day.
Well, aye.
Let us consult the stars now then, shall we? What is the cause of Mistress Allen's suffering?
Okay, up all night with headache and chundering. What has caused my suffering? So, Mistress Allen's troubles have been provoked by anxious passions associated with being with child. Potentially, that did seem, because she was saying about celebrating. Mistress Allen is suffering from evil digestion. Well, cold meat. Could just be morning sickness. Would you get a headache with? I don't think you get a headache with eating something bad, and generally it would come on a little bit later. Let's go with this. See if that was the hint that it was suggesting.
You are with child, Mistress Allen. 'Twas the reason for your celebration last evening, methinks.
Aye, but how did you know?
I can see it in my chart, madam. There is a planet aligned with Scorpio at present, Scorpio being the constellation that rules over such matters. Pray tell, how long has it been since your monthly courses?
It has been 14 weeks since my courses, and yesterday I did feel the child quicken. So, indeed, 'twas the cause for our celebration, as you say. For I have been with child before, you see, but 'tis never. And Mr. Allen and I do pray this one will be born alive.
There, dear lady. The presence of the planet Mercury in my chart does suggest you suffer from anxious passions on account of your condition, and given your ill-favoured history, I warrant 'twas the twin burdens of hope and fear that provoked your troubles last evening.
Oh, I see.
Pray take this flask of wine, madam. It has been infused with cloves, ginger root, and cinnamon. Drink of it each morning, and you should soon feel much improved.
Verily, I will do as you advise. I thank ye heartily, sir. Fare you well, Dr. Foreman.
Fare you well, Mistress Allen.
You seem to be pregnant. Here, have some wine. Okay. Okay.
Good day, sir. You are Simon Foreman, the physician, are you not? These are your rooms.
Indeed, I am he, and well met, sir. Be it Thomas Blagg I have the honour of welcoming to my humble consulting chambers, the Dean of Rochester Cathedral?
Indeed. 'Tis I, Thomas Blagg. Though it is not upon church business that I come to you this day. 'Tis upon a matter of my own that I require counsel. I have lately been offered some very lucrative investment opportunities. And, well, it is said that God speaks to us through the stars, does he not?
Indeed he does. 'Tis well known that astrology is but a conduit for the word of God, as interpreted using scientifical means. And now, these investments of which you speak, pray tell of them, if you please.
2 merchant ships will shortly set sail on very lucrative trading expeditions. I do not possess the coin to invest in both. Hence, I must choose between them. And I must choose very wisely indeed. For sea voyages are most perilous, and if my ship were to founder or be captured by pirates, I would lose my entire investment.
Aye, forsooth, 'twould be most lamentable, to say nothing of the poor souls who might lose their lives.
Who are, naturally, the greater of my concerns.
Aye, naturally. And whither might these ships be bound?
The first is bound for the Spice Islands of the East. 'Tis a voyage to be undertaken by a ship named the Conquering Cherub. The other is the Pride of Yarmouth. She is to bring back sugar from the Americas. Have you now the information you require? Then perchance you may divine for me upon which of these 2 ships our Lord God has bestowed his divine blessing.
Aye, Dean Blagg, we may now consult the stars. Should Thomas Blagg invest in the voyage of the Conquering Cherub, or that of the Pride of Yarmouth?
A change in fortune and femininity. House of marriage. Represents a victory. I guess victory. I have no idea.
The stars advise you to invest in the ship named the Conquering Cherub.
I see. And why is that?
Well, I have calculated that at this very hour, upon this very day, the planet Mars and the constellation Scorpio do both dwell in that part of the sky we call the House of Children. And, as it happens, Mars is the ruler of Scorpio, hence we may say that Mars is presently exalted.
Mars has been exalted by Scorpio, you say? And what might that mean?
When exalted, Mars represents victory. And so, with victory in the House of Children, we may read this as a victorious child. Ergo, the Conquering Cherub.
Ah, I see. For a cherub is a kind of child, is it not? In sooth, I do find the science of astrology verily fascinating. I thank you, Dr. Foreman. You have been most helpful.
So I wonder then. I wonder if the kind of joke throughout all of this is that it doesn't matter which way that you read the stars. You can always... Oh, 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. Thought that was my phone going off, but it was actually the doorbell. But anyway. Yeah, so I was thinking, what if it doesn't matter which way you read the stars? You can always kind of twist it and find a reason why it's right. Because I'm thinking if you chose the other option there, because that was, what was it? Because the one that we chose was the child, and the other one was a change of fortune and femininity. So yeah, I can foresee a way that he would be able to make that mean that the other ship was the successful one. So I'm thinking maybe that's kind of the running joke here, that kind of it doesn't matter what you choose, you can always bend it to fit, which is kind of playing on the fact that astrology is kind of bullshit. But yeah, let's just see where it goes.
She seems full afraid.
Good morrow, sir. Pray tell, are these the consulting chambers of Simon Foreman, Doctor of Astrology and Physic?
Indeed, 'tis I, Dr. Simon Foreman. And your name, madam?
Emma Sharp of Shoreditch, sir. 25 years of age.
Welcome, Miss Sharp. And how may I do you service this day?
Well, 'tis a trifle delicate. A man has asked me to be his wife. A dear, kind man, but I fear you will think me cold, Dr. Foreman.
There, madam, whatever is the matter?
Well, he is exceeding advanced in years. I do worry he may not be long for the world, and if he were to die, I do not think I could bear it. Verily, I would not. Indeed, methinks I would rather not marry him at all. Am I very heartless, Dr. Foreman?
Nay, not in the least, madam. Your fears are most reasonable. A man in the winter of his life is indeed more likely to die. I assure you, madam, 'tis a medical fact. But methinks you wish to know whether this man be afflicted with a grave health condition, do you not? To wit, any ailment that might soon prove fatal?
Forsooth I do. That is my question precisely. Why, Dr. Foreman, 'tis as if you have a gift for reading minds.
Merely the gift of logical surmise, madam. Let us see whether a judgment of the stars may calm your fears. Does Mr. What was your gentleman's name?
Mr. George Middleton, a wool merchant.
Does Mr. Middleton have any ailments that might hasten his death?
Okay. A mild enchantment cast by a witch. Pluto in retrograde. The possibility of death. Okay. Suggests severe vertigo, fear of heights. Imbalance of phlegm. Illness cannot be cured. Suggests a mild imbalance of black bile. From a cardiac passion. What did it say at the top of those? From dropping down of the piss, characterized by involuntary urination. Being bewitched. We have to be. It says we have to be gentle with it, doesn't it? In the song at the start. Should we go with the? We have to go with the dropping down of the piss. Let's do it.
Mr. Sharp, I have exceeding excellent news for you. Mr. Middleton has only the most trifling of ailments, dropping down of the piss. Though I must advise you that marrying a man who suffers from dropping down of the piss would pose certain laundry-related challenges. But widowhood is not likely to be one of them, at least not imminently.
Blessed day! What wondrous news!
However, there is one other small thing in my chart. It seems your future husband does also suffer from an unreasonable fear of heights. Such a fear could aggravate Mr. Middleton's condition. He would be advised to avoid tall buildings, bridges, and mountains. Or at least be sure he takes a change of breeches along with him on any such outings.
Oh, verily? Then I will follow your advice most carefully, Dr. Foreman. I will now to Mr. Middleton go and accept his proposal of marriage.
Beware, public notice, beware, is the man treating you a qualified licensed doctor? London has lately been importuned by low-born charlatans claiming the title of doctor. These men have never attended university and therefore cannot be trusted. Anyone found to be practicing medicine without a medical license shall be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Dr. Richard Smith, President, College of Physicians.
Murdering would those doctors come. Murdering those doctors come. Murdering one fine day. Those doctors will they slave. Those doctors will they slave for me. Slave for me. Will they send him to jail? Will they send jail.
What is the meaning of this warning being put about by the College of Physicians? Do they mean to do me harm? It is true that I do not have a medical license. What am I to do? Mayhap the stars will advise me.
Mayhap. Hang on, what did you say? Okay. Wealth. This represents ignorance. House of Ambitions advises ending a war. Sun, House of Religion, represents a religious authority at the head of the church. Or House of Relationships represents intelligence. House of Service to others advises sensitivity. Let's try that one.
It seems that if I'm to avoid prosecution by the College of Physicians, I must obtain a medical license. Towards this end, doubtless the best course is to serve my querents well, treating their illnesses and problems with intelligence and sensitivity. For if I do, they may favour me with letters of recommendation, and I can use these to petition the University of Cambridge to grant me a license.
This man at the door who we've not seen before. Who is this man at the door who we've not seen before? Who is come to inquire the residence of strange attire? Tis Signor Ferraro.
Good day to you, sir. Oh, I see you're having some difficulties. William, fetch my guest a chair.
No, it's good. I am just a little stiff.
As you wish. Mr.
Signor Riccardo Ferraro. I am a gentleman of Venezia, come to make a trade in London.
Venice? 'Tis a fine city, I hear. And how may I do you service this day, Signor Ferraro?
I am come with una problema medicale, and you are most great dottore who does cure all London, huh? You cure Ferraro too, see?
Forsooth, I will seek to do so, Signor. Pray, describe your complaints, if you please.
Is burning when I make the water.
Pain during urination?
See, and is pain down here. Molto pain.
And pain in the lower back. Now, let us see what the stars can tell us. What ails Signor Riccardo Ferraro?
Kidney problems, maybe kidney stones, or just a water infection. Okay. From the gout, yeah, I don't think so. Stones in the kidney, potentially. And dysentery, let's go. Stones in the kidney.
Tis a case of stones in the kidney, I regret to say. But worry not, Signor. I will give you an ounce of my strong water to dislodge them. Drink this entire flask when you rise at dawn tomorrow. You may then expect to evacuate the stones by way of your privy member within just a few hours.
Ah, your famous strong water. This water is said to cure the plague, huh? I thank you, Signor Foreman. And now Riccardo Ferraro bids you good day.
Excellent.
'Tis sure she is no beauty, 'tis true she lacks finesse, but every awkward hero needs his awkward princess.
Well met, Mistress Allen. Pray tell, the last time I saw you, you were with child, methinks. Pray tell, how
I
fares...
would rather not talk about that, if you please.
Oh, I see. I am full sorry, madam. What
I'm
brings
come
you
upon...
this?
The
I
matter
beg
that
your
brings...
pardon, madam. I prithee, madam, say on.
I'm come about the new law. I know not what to do, and I would have counsel.
You are in trouble with the law, madam?
Nay, At least not yet, but my neighbours have begun to remark unkindly upon my absences, my Sunday absences from church. I am afeard one of them may soon denounce me.
Ah, 'tis the Act Against Recusants you speak of. The law that obliges Catholics to attend church and take the English sacrament. You are of the Catholic faith, then, I take it?
I, a Catholic, but as well a law-abiding woman and a full loyal subject of the Queen. Long may she reign.
I do not doubt it, madam.
But to take the Protestant sacrament, 'tis heresy. So says the Pope in Rome. I risk being damned to hell if I do it, Dr. Foreman. Verily, I find myself in a most terrible bind.
I see. Damned if you do, yet condemned if you do not. A cruel bind indeed. Let us see if the stars may untangle it for us. Should Mistress Avis Allen attend Protestant church services?
Okay, so that's jealousy and confusion. His neighbours represents women. Strength, death, surprising political event. Authority, cooperation, creativity. Okay, let's try.
I fear the stars confirm your fears. You must attend church every Sunday, lest you risk being prosecuted for being a recusant.
Oh, but then what of my soul, Dr. Foreman?
Methinks I have a solution for that, madam. If you were to cross your fingers behind your back during the service, any Protestant oath you swear would not count. Of course, you must be sure to stand at the back of the church while doing so that only God may see, and no one else.
Sooth, what an ingenious notion! Oh, Dr. Foreman, you have saved me. You are so wise, sir. 'Tis so. Verily, 'tis most admirable.
But, dear lady, 'tis you who is to be admired. The strength of resolve, your devotion to your faith, and your... Madam, would you care to... see my collection of Venetian glassware?
I think I would. Indeed, I would like that very well.
Okay.
Here comes a beauty dark as night. Her hair does shine, her eyes are bright. A damsel formed for man's delight. Oh, she is quite a lady. Oh, she is quite a lady.
There's some very good vocalists.
Good day to you, sir. I am Amelia Bassano of Bishopsgate, here for my consultation.
Welcome, Mistress Bassano. Bassano, 'tis an Italian name, is it not?
Aye, it is, sir. Though I was born in London, my family are from Venice. They did come to London to gain employment as musicians at the royal court.
Ah, I know one of your countrymen, Riccardo Ferraro, another one of my querents. Mayhap you know him? He hails from Venice, too.
No, sir, I do not know him. Venice is a large city, and as such 'tis home to many thousands of men. And as I did mention, I was born in London.
Aye, of course. Mayhap we turn our thoughts to what brings you hither this day. Have you a question for me?
Aye, sir, I wish to know what afflicts me, for my belly does begin to swell, and lately I oft find myself chundering after meals.
Swollen abdomen and involuntary upward purging. Well, now, let us consult the stars to judge the cause of these troubles. What is ailing Mistress Amelia Bassano?
Is she pregnant as well? Liverworm. With child. Crick in the knees.
I neglected to ask. Is there a Mr. Bassano?
Aye, my father still lives.
I mean to say, are you yet married, Mistress Bassano? I presume you are, for the stars indicate that you are with child. Wondrous news indeed.
Ah, I see.
Of course, it is natural for a young lady to be a trifle anxious when she's expecting her first child. And I see you are anxious, are you not?
I, Mr. Foreman, I own that I am.
Well, doubtless you are anxious owing to the unpredictable nature of your condition. For instance, sometimes the child might emerge from its mother's womb early, weeks or even months earlier than anticipated. This possibility is a medical fact, and one that should be explained to any husband you may... Do you see what I'm saying, Mistress Bassano?
Nay, not in the least, sir.
Ah, some of my maiden querents, I assume you are still unmarried and therefore a maiden, when they find themselves inexplicably with child, they oft do not remain unmarried for long. I advise you to discuss this with your family without delay, Mistress Bassano. Doubtless they will be keen to make the arrangements for you.
I see. Yes, of course. I must lose no time in finding a husband. I thank you, Dr. Foreman. Good day.
Mary Payne is frightened when she spies a looking glass, for 'tis a portal out through whence the gates of hell do blast. A deadly and foul wind that comes direct from Satan's mouth.
Blessed morrow to you, Dr. Foreman. I am Mary Payne of 4th Street in Lambeth. I'm come to seek your counsel about my neighbours.
Good morrow, Mistress Payne, and well met. What trouble do your neighbours give you? They play their lutes into the night, perchance? Mayhap a neighbour has cast a malignant spell upon your cabbages.
Why, sir, 'tis no trifling matter. Indeed, 'tis a matter of grave importance. Doubtless you do know we have a Catholic living on 4th Street. A woman by the name of Avis Allen.
Ah, yes. I did hear tell that Mistress Allen subscribes to the Romish faith. But 'tis no crime to be a Catholic, is it, madam? At least, not at present.
Aye, but harbouring a Jesuit priest is, Dr. Foreman. These evenings past, I have spied a man sneaking in and out of the Allens' house. 'Tis my reckoning the man is a priest who is going hither and thither all over Lambeth to perform the Catholic Mass and take confessions. Doubtless Mr. Allen is hiding him in one of those little cupboards.
You mean to say you think Mr. Allen has installed a priest hole in his house? A secret room hidden behind the wood panelling of a wall?
Indeed I do. I am certain that he has such a hole, and that a priest is going in and out of Mr. Allen's hole from dusk till dawn.
Verily? How troubling. But surely you are mistaken, madam, for under the cover of darkness, how can you be sure the man you did spy was not Mr. Allen himself?
Nay, nay, 'twas not Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen is a fine, tall figure of a man, whereas the figure I did spy was very narrow and malformed in appearance. A scrawny little imp of a man he was.
I see.
Now, you must not think me intolerant, Dr. Foreman. If Mistress Allen must cling to her idolatrous backward beliefs, 'tis her own affair, and I have no wish to cause trouble for the Allens. And 'tis true that Mistress Allen does now attend church on Sundays and takes the English sacrament just as she ought to. But we residents of 4th Street are decent English folk. We will not abide an agent of Rome sneaking around our neighbourhood, muttering incantations in some devilish foreign tongue.
I think you mean Latin, madam.
But before I act upon my suspicions, I think it wise to know if there be any truth in them.
Then let us see what the stars can tell us. Who is this mysterious stranger, and why does he frequent the Allens' house late at night?
Okay, so cruelty and sudden change or death. Oh, hang on. What did the top thing say? The man Mistress Payne saw harbours cruel intentions towards the Allen's household goods and possessions. Mistress Payne will die suddenly, mayhap before the end of the consultation. Okay. A relationship with an untrustworthy foreigner. Maternal instincts have been thwarted by her inability to bear a child, but she stubbornly persists in trying to reverse her infidelity. Stars speak of an educated man who adorns himself in fine clothes. Public enemy who engages in idolatrous worship of the Virgin Mary. Yeah, okay, so that's confirming what she says. That's she's having an affair because she can't get a child, and that's there's someone who's trying to someone who's trying to deal harm to the family. Should go with B.
Ah, 'twould seem the man you saw is a foreigner who's been secreted into the Allen house to aid Mistress Allen with their family difficulties.
Family difficulties? Come, Dr. Foreman. Pray speak plain.
Ah, well, as you doubtless know, the Allens have never been blessed with a living child. Mayhap 'tis the belief of Mistress Allen that the seed of a foreigner would prove more powerful than the demonstrably less successful seed of Mr. Allen.
Then 'tis naught but adultery, fornication with a foreigner. Huh? Mistress Allen will pay dearly for such sinning. Her soul will be damned to an afterlife beset by the exquisite tortures of hell's capricious demons.
Aye, well, according to scripture, that is technically true.
But to harbour a Jesuit priest is a far greater evil. We must be glad that Mistress Allen commits naught but the sin of adultery, conducted late at night, with a man who gives forth strong foreign seed. You have given me much to think on, Dr. Foreman. Blessed day.
I am glad to have been of service, Mistress Payne.
I didn't see that any of those choices were particularly good, and I didn't want to select the first one in case she does actually die.
When his Italian flair features on facial hair, 'tis
Good old Signor Ferraro.
God give you good day, Signor. And how may I assist you?
'Tis I, Riccardo Ferraro, come once again to see the great Dottore Simon Foreman.
So I see. What brings you this day?
I bring myself to you, so you treat my illness. 'Tis very grave.
And, what might this illness be? Perchance we might start with your complaints.
First problem is the laughter that cannot be controlled.
Uncontrollable laughter, you say? I see. Anything else?
Next problem, the dancing that cannot be controlled.
Uncontrollable dancing. And yet, you do not appear to be dancing at present.
What can I say? 'Tis uncontrollable dancing. I cannot control when I dance.
Nay, 'tis a fair point.
Doubtless my disease, whatever it may be, is very rare and very difficult to diagnose. But of course, if it be beyond your medical understanding...
Let me assure you, Signor, that whatever is said of us on the continent, the learning of we English doctors is unparalleled. There is no better medical care to be had than in London. Now, let us see whether the stars may tell us something of your unusual and troubling illness.
Sounds like he's had too much to drink. Bitten by a tarantula. Tarantula venom. Suffering from cholic, a disease that occasions abdominal pain, belching and bloating of the stomach. I think that bitten by a tarantula is slightly unlikely in London, but so let's go with this one.
It sounds to me like you're experiencing pain in your stomach.
But How did you know this?
Indeed, methinks you are stricken with a bout of colic. Most doctors do advise upward purging, but I have found the dog cure more efficacious in cases of colic.
The dog cure?
Aye. First you must find a dog lying idle on the ground. On any street in London you will find such a creature. Then you must kick the dog away, lower your breeches, and then make water upon the spot where the dog did lie.
If you say so, Signor Foreman.
If we were not on English soil, of course, I would have said you were bitten by a tarantula. But there be no such spiders in England. Our weather is much too cold for them. Indeed, only an overqualified quack who draws his medical knowledge from books alone would think such a diagnosis appropriate in this case.
Indeed, most ludicrous.
And in truth, the laughing and dancing you are troubled with may doubtless be attributed to your hot-blooded Latin temperament.
Doubtless you speak it true, eh? 'Tis but a symptom of my hot Venetian blood. Riccardo Ferraro bids you good day.
Okay, I think we'll leave that there for today. So, you know, it was pretty good. All things said. It's blatantly a small team that have done it, and yeah. The singing was quite well. The singing was very good, but the kind of, I quite enjoyed the quite laid back humour. It wasn't like trying to make anybody laugh out loud, but it was just like a little bit kind of mirthy, you know, a little kind of. But it'll be interesting to see if it kind of evolves much, or if it's just a lot of that and then a little bit of story at the end kind of a thing, or if things change, because it would appear as though we're at some point soon we're going to get some letters of recommendation that we can apply to get medical license just from reading the stars. So but yeah, and I'll also have to have a look and see if this is based on an actual person from history, because there's a fair possibility that it might be. I can imagine something like this going on. But yeah, so interesting, bit of a weird one, but like I say, just wanted to give it a go before it comes off of the Game Pass. So thanks for joining us, and I shall catch you guys in the next step. All right, bye.